So pranam da, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today, directly from Canada, and thank you so much for welcoming me. My name is Catherine Lenardi. I'm the CEO of GENAIZ, and at GENAIZ we believe we're doing something truly unique. So at GENAIZ we believe that we can fundamentally change the way that people can handle, access, store, and eventually share their data to gain insights on their health, on their lifestyle, in order to take the best decision, while at the same time improving the way we thrive as a society. So here's why. More and more data are connected each and every day. So by 2025, IDC forecasts put the number of devices that will be connected through IoT at 41.6 billion, generating a staggering 79.1 zettabyte of data. Do you know what is a zettabyte? So it's 10 at the power of 21. That's huge. That's crazy. So why is that? So beyond the fact that devices are getting more affordable, more accessible, they bring real benefits to your household. So for convenience, you can run things smarter, you could indeed decrease your costs. Let's take a few examples. So let's take an easy one. The speakers from companies like Amazon or Google. They can listen to voice commands. They can put music for you to get your party going, and they can even laugh at your jokes, you know. So that's a good example of on how device can facilitate your life. Others really focus on efficiency. So let's think about smart switches, smart light bulbs, and any controls for your radiator valves. So these really bring more efficiency to your house, getting you to reduce your costs. Then a third category can bring security to your environment. So let's think about smart smoke detectors, or any device that can monitor the way that the way that people live, and sensors in your house. So let's think about the smart sensors that were activated and deployed by the Southern House Group and technology company and the IoT Solutions Group to monitor seniors. This was done here in the UK, and it actually helped make sure that our senior, our loved one, were actually safe in their environment. So finally, smart devices can help with our health as well. So we could get relevant information from our watch or from quality air monitors, so that we could get additional information and insights on CO2, on the radon as well. However, there are important barriers of entry and adoption. There are issues with the adoption of this technology. So there are two main issues that I'm thinking about when people try to adopt the smart devices. The first one is related to the actual technology. So studies by Google and Amazon have identified that most of these devices, they have different protocols, which makes the aggregation of data very difficult to handle. So hubs have been created to tackle this problem, but most of the time it's actually, we're actually using smartphones in order to aggregate this information, which is not, by the way, the best technology to ensure that this data is safely gathered. Another example is linked to humans, so change management. So most of us think or are scared that not only does data be hacked, our system can be hacked, but the data could be stolen or used against our will. So a study by Wise Sun Alliance identified that this preoccupation was particularly important here in the UK, where 54% of organizations actually incorporate in their IoT strategy measures to ensure the security of the device they provide, while only 34% of organizations do the same in the United States. So it's a fair concern. And this is one that the UK government has tackled by scanning millions of devices just to make sure that they protect persons' privacy and the security of your data. Sometimes it's due to these devices being built without some concerns about the vulnerabilities they can present, or sometimes these devices run on old operating systems, which makes them less secure. However, with the intervention of the government, new regulations being put in place, we're really headed in the right direction for people to use safely these devices. So with all that in mind, and better understanding the market that smart houses presented, after a lot of discussions with Phil, I asked myself the following question. So we have this data coming from different devices. We have to respect certain regulations. We have to protect data privacy, data security for people, but at the other end, we have organizations, the government that could make sense of these data, and even the people owning their data could leverage these data in order to improve the way they live. So what if we could create that system that could collect, aggregate these different sources of data while protecting the security, the privacy, so that people can actually leverage their data, share their data, monetize their data with the utmost protection mechanisms, and share these data anonymously. And so on one side, we would have people with their homes generating data, and on the other side, we would have organizations such as the Welsh government that could leverage these data in the form of meta-study, where we don't delocalize the data remains the property of the person, but the data could be used to actually change policies, create new programs that could support people and citizens. So answering that question and that big challenge has led my team and I to come up with the GENAIZ marketplace. So we said, well, we have a federated platform that's based on federated learning, AI. It's mostly focusing on B2B, so services organizations who have data and want to share data anonymously to create meta-studies between them. What we need to do is to expand our vision of the GENAIZ platform so that it does not only serve B2B organizations, but we bring it to the household, and it becomes a B2C model as well. So let's take an example to illustrate what I'm talking about and our vision. So let's take John. John lives in Wales. He has a wife, 2 kids. He has many smart devices that work very well for him, a lot of applications that he does not necessarily leverage because lack of time, lack of understanding of these devices. So here comes GENAIZ, the marketplace, cloud-based account, where John can have all the data centralized. For him to pick, based on his own privacy concerns, what he wants to share or not about his household. So he may have data coming from his washing machine that he doesn't want to share for any reasons, but he may have data coming from the air filter or the air quality monitor that he wants to share that could indicate some level of radon, for instance. Then comes the Welsh government. The Welsh government decides to run an AI from their own private cloud-based instance of GENAIZ, run the AI, ta-da, John's data is leveraged. John gets money for sharing his data, and the Welsh government can have insights on potential correlation between radon levels and cancer predictions. However, since John has shared his data anonymously, he now can run the same algorithm on his own set of data to get insights about his own particular situation and understand if there are any actions that need to be taken, because indeed there are levels of radon that are unhealthy. And so we can take immediate action and change and correct the situation. So basically it's a win-win. On one side, you have John, who can make money out of his data, who owns his data, who only share what he wants to share. And on the other side, you have the Welsh government or organization, pharmaceutical company, who can leverage in the form of meta-studies this data. The data is never delocalized. So what we do is we have this federated brain with models. We send the models to the instances, and then we just take the weights back. No raw data that is not conform with GDPR regulation is actually stored on each instances. We just create with AI this awareness about the data. We know the data exists, but we don't know the specifics of the information that would be sensitive in terms of data coming from any place, whether it's from a person, an organization, or the government. So you have John making money, taking better decisions, getting better insights to manage his life, the life of the ones he loves. The Welsh government being able to adapt its policies based on insight that we could provide on the population. And you even have Swansea University, who could also leverage the data to establish trends, correlate the data, and support their research programs. So that sounds awesome? We believe so. So we have already put the GENAIZ platform into production. We have the data ingestion pipeline. We have the possibility to aggregate the information. And we have companies who have actually used our AI to find some insights about the data they owned. In fact, I'm really pleased to announce today that we have, through the technology and the AI mechanics I just explained today, figured out long COVID. We have found a potential cure. It's preliminary, but we'll be publishing shortly with our partner how we could aggregate data from different sources in order to find insights and figure out this very sad and disease. In order to bring, and I'm sorry, I forgot about the slide. In order to bring this collaboration to the next level and to support the GENAIZ marketplace, we're launching a grant application, so a project to the IHI, gathering partners, and this is the, I'm sorry for that, guys. Sometimes I'm so passionate, I forgot to change the slides. But this is the GENAIZ model I was explaining a little earlier with John's instance, the GENAIZ brain, the models, weights that are brought from one instance to the federation, and the different instances from organization or the government that can exploit the data anonymously. So, sorry, going back to the Innovation Health Initiative, we're launching a federation. We're looking for members in order to submit for a grant. We're talking about 20 million euros grant. IHI is mostly providing money for European members. However, we already have members from Canada, so hospitals, private, public, academia. We're privileged to work with RIW, and a few of you here in Wales were recruiting also in Belgium, and we have established a good partnership in Spain. So we're looking for academia, hospitals, and we have a good network of AI suppliers. So believe it or not, but more than 1,000 small or big shops of the small groups of PhD computer specialists build AI specifically for life sciences. This is a fabulous ecosystem that we want to bring into GENAIZ so that we reduce the barriers of adopting AI, fostering this collaboration ecosystem where people could, where we can intermediate between data owners, AI providers, and those who need these insights. So we have already a network of of AI private partners. We're always open for to get additional partners in. So if you know of anyone who might be interested, if you are yourself interested in the project, please feel free to connect with me and discuss this potential opportunity to get between 50 and 100% of the work actually covered through this project. So again, my name is Catherine Lenardi. If you have any question, feel free to engage. It's going to be my pleasure. Thank you so much.